Call 911. I'm like, for what?
My fiance Charles. Man, wife. I don't know.
What? You call me a man? What?
I thought it was a gush. I was sitting on the toilet like up like this going.
I was just like, yeah. And she did one of these. I caught Eden.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Candace and I am so glad you guys clicked on this video. This is the video you guys have been waiting for. The video that I want to start my channel off with, but you know, it's finally coming, it's finally here, we're finally doing it together. And I said we because the man, the myth, the legend, my mid-husband.
Call me a man, wife, you know, look at.
My mid-husband, Charles, my fiance.
Yeah!
Sometimes you guys have heard him in the background of some videos, but he's finally sitting down, showing face, talking to y'all. We're gonna be talking to y'all about the labor and delivery story, the crazy, the chaotic day that our daughter Eden came into this world.
This is not your typical birth story, yo. I'm just talking about what happened that day. Like, I'm not here for a long time.
I'll do all the other behind the the other stuff.
Do that
but
stuff.
We're just gonna talk about that day, give him his shine, you know. But anyways, you wanna start it off, or you want me to start it off?
No, you can give your background and all that.
Okay, well, I'll just start, I guess, from 4 o'clock that morning when the contraction started or something.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, let them know that we had midwives.
Okay, yeah. So we had midwives.
Didn't do their job, obviously.
Oh my God.
For those who know, because did you tell them what I did?
No.
I caught Eden.
Yes.
I birthed her. I did it.
He did it. He went in, pulled her out, you know, half. But yeah, so we had midwives. They did do their job. One kind of missed the ball a little bit on that one particular day.
Their job is to catch the baby. Who
But
caught
they
the
take
baby?
care of me and the baby up until before and after labor and delivery. So they did their part. They made sure we were good. It was
They
just
didn't do their
that
part.
day, kind of.
They had really and truly, they had one job.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
I mean, I guess so. I feel you. Whatever, if you want to say that. So yeah, so 4 o'clock in the morning or so, we were sleeping. I woke up to feeling some intense type pains, thinking maybe, hopefully it's contractions because Eden was a little bit over her due date. So went, checked, realized it kept on coming and going. So they were consistent enough for me to track them. I started tracking them in my app. And Charles has to wake up around like what, 5:30 for work?
I have to wake up at 5:30, yeah.
5:30 for work. So I don't even remember if I woke you up super early. Sorry if you guys.
No, it was super early because I remember we had a conversation on whether or not I should call in, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah.
So I was contemplating whether or not I was gonna call into work, and thank God I didn't go to work.
Thank God, yeah. That would have been horrible because he works far from home, so it would have taken him forever to go to work to then come back. It would have been crazy.
Yeah.
And the timing wouldn't have worked at all if you had gone to work.
Yep.
Yeah, so I spoke to him, let him know, like, hey, I'm having contractions. They've been somewhat consistent. They're not super intense yet, but they're strong enough that I know that they're contractions. So, you know, I'm monitoring them. You know, I called the midwife for her to come and check up on me because at one point my contractions were so frequent and yeah, they were following, I think they were almost close to the 511 rule. I think that's what it is, or whatever. The rule that tells you when you have to go to the hospital. So I was like, hey, like my app is telling me, go to the hospital, go to emergency. Can you come and check me, make sure everything's good? And I messaged my sister and let her know as well because she had to come and watch our son Eli. And I was like, hey, just let you know, I'm having contractions. I think Eden might be coming. So if you want to come over. And I think that was around maybe like 6 o'clock, still early in the morning.
About 6 in the morning.
Yeah, it was still around like 6 o'clock in the morning or so. So my sister comes over, but no, she came before the midwife, right? Or after?
She came after. The midwife was there like 5 in the
remember.
morning.
She came after.
The midwife was there really early.
Okay, so yeah, so the midwife came, she checked me. She told me I was still at, I think, 2.5 centimeters. I don't even think she said I was at 3 centimeters. I think she still said 2.5 centimeters. Previous to the whole contractions and everything starting, day before, I was at 2.5 centimeters, so that didn't change. So I was like, are you kidding me? Like the contractions I'm feeling right now is so intense. Like I don't think I'm at 2.5, but she says I'm at 2.5. She tells me go back, rest, take an Advil or take a Tylenol, whatever. I'm relaxing. She says go take a bath. I'm still monitoring the contractions, and now my sister finally comes.
Mind you, yo, she bounced.
Oh yeah, the midwife left.
Yo, she bounced. She left.
She left. She's like, call me if anything. Let me know if anything's changed or whatever.
So we thought we were Gucci. We thought we had a couple hours.
Yeah.
We thought maybe Eden was gonna come in.
I personally didn't think that.
Wow.
I didn't think I had a couple hours because like the way the contractions felt in comparison to the contractions I felt with Eli, they were super intense. Like they were super. Like I don't know. It just felt like she was coming, but like at the same time. At one point, the contractions kind of died down a little bit, so that's what kind of made me think maybe we did have more time. But initially in the beginning, they were frequent, like they were very frequent, very long-lasting contractions. But yeah, sorry, you want to continue what you were saying?
No, go ahead.
Trying to think what else happened. Oh my god, I feel like I can't remember everything now.
It was just such a blur. Yeah, when it comes to the times, everything's a blur.
I'm trying to charge my phone so I could see like even the text messages and stuff. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, though, but I ended up, as I mentioned, I took a bath, I took the Tylenol, I was resting, I was doing everything that the midwife suggested that I do, so that I could just be prepared and be calm for when Eden is ready to come and kind of have some some rest. And then I want to say, fast forward, time is going by. It's now like. Should I go like right to 12 o'clock? Yeah, I guess I'll go right to like 12 o'clock-ish or so. Yeah. I'm sitting on the couch. My sister's there. Charles is there. The kids they were all in the living room just watching TV and stuff.
The kids?
The kids. Just Eli, sorry. Eli was there playing around and stuff. So it's just the 4 of us in the house. Yeah.
3 of us?
The 4. Me, my sister, and Eli.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So... the 4 of us in the house, whatever, we're just chilling, whatever, talking. And I remember the time now, it's like, I'm still going through my contractions, I'm breathing through them, whatever. And it was like around like 12:15 or something like that, or 12:12 or something like that. Eden, here. But it was like around 12 in the afternoon. So, yeah, so from 4 o'clock to 12. 4 a.m. to 12 o'clock, so we're just chilling, whatever. 12 in the afternoon, we're watching TV, and I remember we were looking at the time talking about times we predict that Eden would come. Do you remember that? Yeah. It was 12 something, it was like 12:20, 12:15, something like that.
I remember I was in the gulag. I'm calling, do you remember?
No, I don't.
I played Warzone, bro.
For Eden?
Eden and Eli, I was in the middle of video games when your contractions started.
Really? So then maybe you must.
I was on the couch playing, and China was in her computer beside me.
Yeah,
that's when you said,
work or something. Yeah.
But we were timing your contractions.
Yeah.
We were using your phone to time your contractions. Every time you had a contraction.
Yeah, you guys both were helping me log it if I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I remember it was 12 something. All I remember was 12 something, and we at that one point we were like, I was like, we predict that Eden, like we're gonna have to probably go to the hospital around like 1 o'clock or something with the way my contractions were super intense, and that Eden would probably be born around 4 p.m. and stuff like that. You remember that conversation now?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were having all that. We were talking about all of that, and then all of a sudden I had this one big contraction, and I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, and I'm breathing through it, and all I felt was a gush. And I told everybody, I'm like, guys, I think my water just broke. But I'm still like contracting and in pain. And they got up and checked. They're like, yep, definitely broke.
The couch was soaked.
Definitely broke. Yeah, the couch was disgusting.
The couch was soaked.
So then Charles calls my midwife because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom.
You were in a lot of pain at that point, right? That's when the pain started to intensify.
So I was like, let me go to the bathroom. I'm going to put on one of the pad things so I don't leak through my clothing. Yeah. I got Charles to call the midwife. And as I'm in the bathroom getting myself together, he's on the phone outside. I don't know if I want to talk about that part. Or like your conversation with the midwife.
This was the first conversation with the midwife? From what I can remember though.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
It was a lot, man. I think I just told her that your contractions came and they were a minute or 2? No.
They were like, it was like second. Was it the seconds apart?
No, I'm pretty sure it was like a minute apart or something like that, right? And she said, I can't remember what she said. Oh, she said start packing up and start getting ready for
to go to the hospital.
Yeah, start packing up, start getting ready to go to the hospital. And she's like, she's gonna start making her way there. She's gonna call to make sure that they're prepared for us. They have a room prepared for us and all that, right?
Eli's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, so we called and told her, yeah, she said she's gonna start making her way there. She's gonna call ahead of time to make sure that the room's prepared for us so that when we go there, it's just a smooth transition into the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, fugazi stuff.
And mind you, he's on the outside of the door talking as I'm still in the bathroom, contracting, just going through it. Like I'm sitting on the toilet.
Moaning.
Just going through it.
She wasn't at the point of screaming yet, but she was moaning.
Yeah.
And I knew it was bad, right? Because
I remember
you weren't really making too much noise when you're sitting on the couch. It wasn't until you got on the toilet you started grunting and moaning.
And I remember you coming in to check up on me, and I was like, I had to hold on to him. Like normally I'm a person, if I'm in pain, like I don't want to be touched. Leave me alone. Let me like go through it.
Yeah, because at one point, then you started screaming like maybe 2 minutes after, like 2 or 3 minutes after you sat on the toilet, you started screaming, I feel like I need to push.
Yeah. Like
that's when my heart dropped. That's why I'm like, yo, this is mission critical.
Hey, I'll forget. Sorry if you hear all the kids and all the noise in the background. You know, we have children, so they make noise.
Yeah, so you started screaming. At that point, I knew it was mission critical. Like, we had to get busy. Like, something needed to happen, right? We said, you need to make a move to the hospital and figure out what was going on. So I think I called the midwife back, right?
Yeah, you called her back.
So I called her back and I basically told her, like, yo, like, it's going down. She said that she feels like pushing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pack up, I'm gonna throw her in the Jeep, and we're gonna fly down to the hospital right now. And she's like, oh, she feels like she's pushing. And I said, yeah. And she's like, can you give her the phone? I'm like, she's not coming on the phone. You can hear her in the background screaming, like, get here, or, you know, we're getting to the, like, or meet us at the hospital. We're gonna go to the hospital.
I think even the first time you called her, you came in with the phone. I think that's the reason why you first came into the bathroom.
Yeah, because you started screaming.
Yeah,
right?
and
that's when you're like,
she was trying to ask me questions, and I just remember, like, I couldn't speak. Like, there was no talking. I was just moaning and moaning. I think I said maybe one word.
And she
I was
kept
like,
sitting on the phone like, oh, you think maybe she could talk to me? I'm like, yo, you hear her? Like, she can't even talk to me. Like, what do you mean? Could you?
And I mean, I was sitting on the toilet, like, up like this, going,
Bro, I was scared, right? Because I didn't know what was about to go down. You kept saying, I feel like I'm gonna push. I feel like I'm gonna push.
Like, my body was involuntarily just pushing. Like, I was like,
so I don't know.
I can't do nothing about this.
I don't know at what point it registered in her mind on the phone that it's serious. She's like, okay, call 911. I'm like, for what? I'm like, for what? Like, come here and do your job, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, like call 911 for what? She's like, call 911, I'm gonna make my way to your house now. And I was like, alright, like, okay. Like, there's nothing I could do. But it was like, at this point, it's panic. You know what I mean? It's just panic now because Candace is screaming. I'm losing it. I don't know what the hell's going on. China looks like she's scared out of her mind because she's like, what's all this screaming and yelling going on?
Eli is in his own glory, just, you know,
he's doing
running around doing his own
ASD thing in the living room.
Autism was going for him. He didn't care.
So China was like, what's going on? And I'm like, yo, this woman just told me to call 911. So she's like, call 911. Yeah, so she's like, call 911. And I'm like, bro, I don't like calling the police, bro.
Call the police.
I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna call 911, right? And you're screaming. You're telling me, just hold me, hold me, hold me. So I call 911. And then, of course, they say ambulance, fire, whatever. And I'm like, ambulance. So Buddy comes on the phone now. Oh, what's your emergency? I couldn't even get my words out. At this point, I'm so scared. Like, I'm like shaking because Candace is screaming. I look between her legs. There's like blood in the toilet. So I'm like, yo, Buddy, listen. My wife's about to have a baby. Her water broke. I'm seeing blood in the toilet. Like, what do I do, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Help me out. She's like, okay. What you gotta do is you gotta get it to the bed, right? And so I let them know, like, yo, we got midwives and everything, but they're not here doing their job. So this is just me, right? So you gotta help me out, bro. Like, really help me out. And I think he could tell. I think he could tell that I was scared, right? She's like, all right, I just need you to calm down. He's like, I need you to get your wife to the bed, get some clean towels. And I'm like, clean towels for what, bro? Like, what's about to happen, bro? Like, for what? So I'm like, yo, China, get towels. And I'm telling China to get towels. I don't know if China left the apartment because
We didn't have nothing ready though until
That's
after
the thing.
Eden was born.
I know that. I get that. But if I say find clean towels, you're gonna go in the closets, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what China was. I think she left the apartment because I had to get the clean towels. You remember that?
I know.
So anyways, but yeah, that's fast forward. The clean towels didn't come until after. So then she's like, yo, you gotta get into the bed. So I'm like, yo, bun, you gotta get up. But you were screaming, bro.
Yeah. Okay, and let's rewind a little bit, because meanwhile you're on the phone with the ambulance and all them people. I'm realizing now that Eden's coming, like, now.
Oh yeah. You're like, I gotta push. She's coming. I said, like, yo, bro, you hear her? Like, she's coming. Like, something needs to happen.
Like, I'm there feeling like, but in my head, like, cause I'm still on the toilet. In my head, I'm like, no, like, we're making it to the hospital. Like, as much as I knew I wanted to do a natural birth, I was like, no, I still want the midwives and everybody to be there. I don't want it to be just us solo doing this. Like,
mind you, yo, we lived in a small condo. The bedroom was about maybe 20 square feet,
yeah,
not even. Tiny bedroom.
Like, walking from our couch to the bathroom was like 2 steps. Walking from the bathroom to our bedroom, 2 steps.
Like 90% of our bedroom was a bed. Like, there was not much going on. Like, our room was very small. We had a crib in there. We had the bed in there. We had a wardrobe in there. Like, you could take 3 steps once you get off the bed and you're in a different room. Like, it was a small room. So there was a lot of shit going on. Yeah. Between me picking Candace up off of the toilet and trying to walk into the...
Not even. You didn't even do that. Because as I was going to say, when I heard you on the phone, I ended up saying, yo, we're going to go to the hospital.
You got up. Yeah,
so I was like, I got to get up. Like, whatever strength I had, I would try to pull up. Like the little diaper thing I had.
She was wearing Huggies, fam.
And it depends, you know, the postpartum moms, you guys know what it is.
Postpartum Huggies.
So I pulled up my diaper and I was like, let me go into the room, get some clothes on, I gotta get ready. Like, we're going to the hospital, we're not doing it here. And
that's
that
right.
walk.
Okay, yeah, so she started walking, right? And the walk was more of a waddle. And she was like, in like obvious pain, right?
Yeah.
And walking, and I'm on the phone with Buddy, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta get into the bed." But that's when I told you gotta get up. You gotta go to the bed. I'm trying to look for the towels and everything. Mm-hmm. We had to do laundry. We had no time.
Yeah, we had. That's the only thing. Like, our bag and stuff for the hospital was packed, which is so stupid because we had towels in the bag. That's not in the closet. But I wasn't thinking. You weren't thinking, and that day was just.
So anyways,
too much was going on, you guys know. This
is when shit started getting lit.
Mm-hmm.
So she got up and she started walking to the bed.
Yeah.
So she
like,
got to the bed.
Here, our bed is here.
I got to the bed and Buddy was just telling me all the things I need to do to prepare myself. Mind you, this is maybe I'm on the phone with Buddy for maybe about 30 seconds, and he's telling me everything I need to do to prepare myself. And in that 30 seconds, I'm trying to help Candace, get to the bed, right? I just remember she got to the bed, bro. She got to the bed, bro. Yo, this is where shit went left. She got to the bed, bro, and she held on to the edge of the bed, right? And she did one of these, right? And I said, what was that? And I put the phone down, and as soon as she did that, bro.
Hey, Eden, that's not nice, mama.
Yo, as soon as she did that, sorry, the kids, as soon as she did that and she stood up, the Huggies diaper, there was a ball.
I was screaming, her head is coming, I think her head's out or something. I seen something about her head.
There was a ball that bulged out of the diaper, and I was like, yo. Bro, I'm like, what the And I'm like, I started screaming on the phone. Bro, I think the head just came out. And he's like, you need to get her on the bed. At that point, the phone went in the sky. I picked Candace up and threw her on the bed, bro. I just remember throwing Candace on the bed.
That's all I remember feeling.
And ripping the diaper off. And all I seen was this. That was Eden. All I see was that. Eden was looking. Eden was looking at me. And I was like, yo! And that's when China ran in. Mm-hmm. China was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And the phone, I don't know where the phone was.
She ended up picking
up the phone wherever the phone was. And I'm like, that's when it was just straight chaos. It was just straight screaming.
Everybody, all three of us were screaming.
Yelling. No, China wasn't screaming.
Yeah, she wasn't screaming. But
it was more me and you,
shock,
right?
Yeah.
But then you stopped. But I was screaming. I just remember I was screaming, no, no, no. And the reason I was screaming no is because in my mind it's like, yo, if I didn't get Eden out in that moment, I feel like Eden would have just passed, right? Because like I said, all I seen was this, and I'm like, in my mind is like, yo, she can't breathe. Like she can't breathe. I gotta do something. I got my hand on her head, and I'm trying to pull her by her head, but I'm like, yo, what if I break her neck? So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I'm screaming. I'm like, no, no, no. And China was standing beside me, and she's like, she's on the phone with Buddy, and Buddy, and I'm like, yo, put him on the speaker, right? Because she's talking to him and trying to explain. I'm like, just put him on the speaker. And then he's like, is the baby crowning? I'm like, yes, the head is here, bro. And he's like, all right, you need to grab a shoulder. He's like, you need to grab a shoulder. And I'm like, bro, there's no shoulder. It's all head. Like, it's all head, right? And he's like, you got to grab a shoulder. I'm like, it won't come. There's no shoulder. So I just said, I'm like, yo, you want me to grab a shoulder? I'm going to grab a shoulder. So I went in with my 2 fingers, and I went underneath, and I hooked what I felt was her armpit, and I just yanked. And out came Eden. As soon as she came out, I just threw her on your chest. I was just like, get this shit off of me, man. And I threw her on your chest, and Eden started crying immediately. I'm like, thank God, man.
We have some pictures. You probably insert some of the photos.
Yeah, we're gonna insert some photos. Man, and I threw Eden on your chest. But yo, listen, let's rewind for a bit, man. I gotta give Candace some credit though, because she seen the panic on my face, and her demeanor just changed. She just went so calm, right? And it was almost like, not to say you were like, I don't know, coaching me through it. Not coaching me through it, but like, I don't know, man. You kind of transferred strength. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kind of transferred. And when I seen that calmness in you, that's what made me feel like, okay, let me just go in there and try to hook a shoulder, right? I feel like if you kept screaming, I don't know. I don't know what would happen, bro.
Because in my head, the thing that was like, oh, I have to push. Remember they kept on saying,
oh yeah, I was yelling push.
And I was just like, though I was in so much shock, like I was afraid, like I'm like, I don't know if I'm I didn't even have strength to just really do anything. Like I feel like it was already done.
Your job was done at that point.
Yeah.
And me telling you to push was pointless.
With Eli, like I was on my epidural was amazing. Best epidural ever. That's what even my midwife said. Best epidural. I didn't feel when I was pushing Eli, so I don't even know if I was pushing Eli correctly when I delivered Eli. But with Eden, I was just like, bro, I don't know what I'm feeling. Like, am I pushing correctly? I'm like trying to push, but I'm in shock, and I'm just like, as I said, I noticed Charles was freaking out, so I'm just like, yo, I just need to calm down, because I know he's afraid that if something was to go left, like Eden would be gone. So I'm just like, let me just stay cool.
I was doing everything in my power.
Excuse me, Eli.
I just remember I was doing everything in my power to not touch Eden's head. So I remember I was pushing your legs back, I was holding your feet. Like, I was just trying to think, because I got 3 other kids prior to. I was 3 other kids prior to Eden, and I was at every single birth. So I was just doing every single thing I remember the midwives and the OBs doing, right? And yo, Eden wasn't coming out. So like I said, like when Candace calmed down, and I heard Buddy say shoulder, grab a shoulder, and I'm like, I didn't see a shoulder, so I'm like, okay, I gotta go looking for a shoulder.
Bro, all I felt was something like this up.
Bro, I was like in there, bro. Boom, right? And I hooked that, right? And she came right out.
Because I read the fucking lawnmower.
I pulled her right up, man. I threw her on your chest, and I just, at that point, the towels still weren't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I went in the closet and I grabbed like a dish towel. I grabbed like a dish towel, and then I found like a real towel.
Yeah.
And then I threw the towel on top of you and Eden, and I'm like, yo, just wipe her down, because I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, my hands were like this. Like, I've never felt so much adrenaline run through my body. Like, I've been in combat sports and sports my entire life, and I've never felt that much adrenaline running through my body, to the point where I kept jumping. Remember?
Yeah.
I was jumping.
Seeing him in the room, and 1 minute he was standing, next minute he was just like this, out the room. Like I
was bunny hopping for at least half an hour. At least half an hour I was bunny hopping. And thank you, mama. So then, yeah, I was bunny hopping, and then China went in the room with you.
Yeah.
And then I heard a knock at the door. I'm like, oh, okay.
Who's this,
right? I open up the door, and here comes girlfriend with every bag running
The
through the door.
midwife.
Yeah. Running through the door. You know what I'm saying? Knocked all the pictures off of the wall. Didn't take her shoes off. I'm here, okay, good job. No, as soon as the door opened, I'm like, the baby's here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was pissed, right? And she's like, oh, I'm here. And she started coming in with every single bag she had and knocked the pictures off the wall. And then ran in the room. She's like, good job, daddy. I'm like, yo. I could have ringed her by her neck, you know what I mean? But thank God she was there, you know what I mean? And she came and she did all the tests. She clamped the umbilical cord. I ended up cutting the umbilical cord. But it was a movie. It was definitely a scene, and the amount of adrenaline. Like I always talk about this adrenaline thing because I've never felt anything like it, and I don't think I ever will feel anything like that. You know what I mean?
And I feel like with Charles, not to cut you off, like his demeanor, the way he is, he's very controlled. Yeah. So it's like you never will see Charles acting a certain way, even if you think like, oh, he'll never look goofy, he'll never look no type of way. Like he's so just chill, laid back. He's always sitting, standing, like chill. So to see him like, it's like, whoa, like you know something is up.
I just remember poor China's face, like, she was like,
my sister was traumatized,
man, and like I just remember.
She was standing by the wardrobe because I remember I had my eyes closed and I opened it for a second and I saw her on the phone standing at the wardrobe.
But I left the room and she stayed in there. Right? I needed to go because I had blood and guts from my wrist to my shoulder. My shirt was drenched, like it was a mess, right? So I wanted to go clean up and I couldn't even turn on the tap. My hand was like, you know what I mean? And then as soon as I cleaned up, then the midwife came, right? And then she came.
The paramedic. That's the thing.
So the midwife came and she came in and she did her checks and stuff like that. I was able to cut the umbilical cord, and then China came out when the midwife was in there.
Yeah.
So I gave China like a hug and she was like telling me to calm down, and I'm like, you good? We're just checking on each other. Then I had to knock at the door and I opened the door and then that was the paramedics.
Oh, okay.
It was the woman and the man, and they had a huge stretcher. And I'm like, bro, you're not getting that in here. Like that's way too big. The midwife is in here right now. She's doing the test, so you guys, come in and do what you got to do, right? You remember Buddy, the guy? He was relieved because he's like, this would be my first birth or something like that. And
he said something. I didn't hear. I mean,
he thought
tired. At this point, I was hearing things, but I wasn't sure what exactly I was hearing.
Buddy thought he was coming to deliver a baby, the paramedic.
Yeah.
So he thought he was coming to deliver a baby when I told him I did it. You know what I mean? And he's like, he even asked me, he's like, you have a midwife and you still deliver the baby? I'm like, go talk to her. She's in the room right now, bro. She explained the whole thing to you.
Yeah.
Right? But it was something else, man. Definitely something else.
And just to break down the timing of everything, remember I said we were talking at like 15, 12, 20-ish about when we think Eden's going to be born.
Right.
Eden's time of birth was 12:43.
Right. So all of this happened in a matter of 45 minutes.
Not even 45, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. 20 minutes.
That's like
20 minutes.
Maybe
that's
30 minutes.
That's
all this happened.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. So I'm like, I will never forget. Like, I used to have the time in my phone, in my other phone, my old phone. I have all that written down. You'll see the contraction counter and everything.
That's crazy.
But 12 something, I remember looking and seeing the time, and I'm like, that's when we were talking. And then I had that big contraction, and then we called the midwife, and it was like, boom, 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 boom. Everything was happening like crazy, like super fast. So it wasn't even like a time for us to sit down and think, because it's like once my water broke, it was just go, 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 go.
And there were so many people in the apartment at that point. Like we had 2 midwives, 2 paramedics, me, China, Eli doing his ASD thing, and then Eden, right? And like I said, the room is small, right? And we had the midwife, the paramedics, me, China. It was like 6, 7 people in there, right?
7 adults,
And it was just crammed, man. And I don't know, it was something else, man.
I remember the paramedics were like, still like, do you want to go to the hospital and get checked and everything? I'm like, once Eden's good, because I hate going to the hospital. Ow, mama.
That's the best part of the whole situation. We didn't go to the hospital.
We didn't have to go to the hospital at all, because Eden's test came back perfect. Everything was great. We just had to do her hearing test later on. And even in Canada, even if you do have your baby in the hospital, you have to do the hearing test later on anyways. It's not done at the same time. So it was good to know that we got to just sit at home and chill. Like, I didn't have to stay in the hospital for a couple of hours or anything. Like, nothing.
Okay, bye.
Whereas with Eli, we had to stay overnight. They even wanted us to stay, I think, 2 nights. But we left early.
Yeah, we said forget that, man.
But yeah, like, crazy. Like, I all I remember is, like, all of us or the 2 of us screaming and yelling. But it's like, when I go back and think about my screaming, at least, I don't even think I was, like, I don't remember screaming in pain.
Screaming in pain. I think you were just more.
I was thinking shock and just fear of hoping everything was going right. Just because everything was, as I said, happening so fast, it was just kind of like,
what was that?
Oh my God.
Lick my lip, man.
What are you doing, Mama? Oh, thank you. Hey, wait, Daddy?
I mean, it's an experience that I'll never forget,
No,
right?
for sure.
And it was definitely a humbling experience because I walk around with this kind of not a tough guy demeanor, but kind of like you said, a nonchalant, you know,
Like,
nothing bothers me type,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't let nothing bother me, or at least you won't see it. Okay, buddy. But that day, I was very vulnerable, man.
Yeah.
And emotional, too, right? Like,
which is crazy. Because I don't even get to see that. I mean, I see that side of him sometimes, but I'm probably the only person that gets to see that side
yeah,
of
for
him.
sure. And I was in there with some strangers. Okay, buddy. Eli wants to say hi. Say hi and get...
Say hi, Papa.
I know, and a bunch of strangers, people I've never met before, seeing me all messed
My
up.
son loves the camera now, apparently. You guys know. Yes, hi.
Come tell your story.
Yeah, what were you doing the whole time?
Exactly
Because
this.
I couldn't even tell you what Eli was doing. I don't think it's so crazy because at least we're home, we're in a safe spot, but I don't think anybody was thinking
You know,
about
all that screaming and yelling, Eli didn't come in the room once.
Not once.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't depend on this
I
guy
saw
for
Eli
nothing.
maybe like an hour later.
Like, we could have been getting murdered in that room. And Eli would have been in the living room in his glory.
For those who don't know, Eli is our son. He's on the spectrum, so
He's
sometimes he's in his own world.
He's autistic as hell, look.
He's a sweet boy though.
You gonna say hi?
And at the time too, Eli was what, maybe 2? Just turned 2?
Eli just turned 2.
Okay. You say hi? Take your shirt out your mouth. What are you doing with your brother? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the most part. Like, I don't know, I would love to have my sister come and tell her side because she was kind of on the
Different
outside.
perspective,
Yeah.
sure. Like I said, for me, it's all a blur, right? A lot of what I'm saying right now is things that have been repeated to me, like things that, you know, people like you told me, that China's told me. Like, to be honest with you, I can't remember much of anything, right?
The only thing I remember is just that last contraction and having eaten on my chest. And like, yeah.
I just remember
Being
that. I
on the
remember
floor
the
in the
end of it.
bathroom.
Me trying to come down from that adrenaline, like adrenaline boost, right?
I remember there was one
Papa.
point
Come on,
after the paramedics, everyone left. It was like sometime in the afternoon, even my sister left, or in the evening, sorry, that the 3 of them were sleeping on the couch and I was holding Eli and Eden and all y'all were just knocked out and I was just sitting there like, wow, I can't believe we had that day.
Me in China, you mean?
No, I swear China left already at that point. It was you, Eli,
Oh, Eli.
like I'm
Listen.
holding Eli and Eden like this, lying down on the couch because I was trying to take a nap. I think I slept for a little bit, but then I woke up to everybody sleeping. We were exhausted.
Bro, now we got this, bro.
I know, come take her. Here, go to the people.
She's the most loving, annoying baby.
Go to the people.
Bro, I can't deal.
In the middle of teething and everything.
At the end of the day, I still do want to give gratitude and, you know, say thank you to the midwives that were involved in, you know, this birth. Even though I'm talking a lot of shit about them, they did help out a lot and they were there. And they did answer a lot of questions, you know, after the fact. They were also there to support me and Candace because it was a traumatic experience, but it was, at the end of the day, it is a blessing, right? And we gotta thank God that we have a healthy baby and nothing went wrong, nothing went left, right? And yeah, I just hope to God, well, ain't no more babies coming.
No.
But my advice to any man that has to go through something like this is try your best to stay calm. Don't do what I did. Don't start your screaming and your yelling and stuff. Try your best to stay calm. You know what I'm saying? Because your wifey needs that. And I'm just grateful I have a strong fiance, wife, like Candace, because I honestly believe that if she didn't,
It would have been too much energy.
yeah, if you didn't, stay calm in that situation, especially when at that moment it was all about you, right? You and Eden.
Yeah.
If you didn't stay calm in that moment, I don't think I would have got through that, right? And I want to say thank you to China, of course.
For those of you guys who don't know, China is my sister.
Yeah,
one of my
Khadijah.
sisters. Yeah.
My road dog, my homie. I gotta give her gratitude too and say thank you, because she supported me and she had a lot to do with the.
She had a lot to do with helping relate information
exactly.
and piece everything together, because it was a lot when you were directly speaking to the guy on the phone. So she was kind of like a good mediator, I guess.
100%.
In between the two of you guys to convey information, because he was trying to tell you like get the shoulder.
I'm even trying to process things right now and try to think if there's anything else that I forgot or anything else that I was going through in that moment, but. It's so hard, man, because like I said, it was such a blur and it happened so fast. And again, the whole adrenaline thing, like it was an experience that I've never experienced before. I hope I don't experience it again, or anything, remotely close to that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Well, I know for me personally, like I'm grateful, even though Charles may feel like he was, having a lot of anxiety and stress, like he still was able to step up and do what he needed to get done. Like his anxiety and everything didn't cripple you to the point where it was like you were just useless and sitting in a corner and being like, oh my God, all these things are happening to me. Like he was able to say, I need to do this to get Eden out. Because for me, I almost felt like it was a little bit crippling, because I was just kind of, that's why I feel like part of me shut down, because I was just kind of like, in my head, I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is not happening. Like that's all I kept on thinking was, this is not happening. This is not happening. Like, is she gonna be okay? Like, I hope she's okay. But like, that's why like for me, even pushing or trying to push was so hard, because I was like, my thoughts weren't in the mode of laboring a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was just kind of like, it's crazy. And as Charles said, I'm grateful for my sister. Super, super grateful, because I don't think anybody else I would have trusted to be there in that situation, period.
Dang, for sure.
Yeah, man. Like, even the relationship, we always joke, the relationship that Eden has with China is ridiculous, because anybody else, like, Eden takes a long time to go to or whatever, but with China, it's like, as soon as she sees auntie, she's like yeah.
Second mom.
Yeah, she's like willing to go, no problem. Like, we could just leave. Like, she's our babysitter every time we need one. So, super congratulations. Super grateful for my sister. 100% grateful for her. Also, yeah, even the paramedics, everybody who came and helped, I'm grateful for them. My midwives, as Charles says.
They're dope. We even had
a reunion
barbecue, and it was nice seeing them, right?
Exactly. And the first thing they said, well, the midwife that was in charge the day that Eden was was born, she was just like, I will never forget your guys' birth story. Like, that day was chaotic. And I know she felt some type of way, because I think she felt like we blamed her. And initially we kind of
she let us down.
Yeah.
Right? Which is fair to feel that way, because I feel like she did, but.
I mean, I did too, but like at the same time, like our more senior midwife, the midwife that's like my favorite midwife, period, she kind of explained to me what happened with my labor, and it's not necessarily the other midwife's fault, because the other midwife is a newer midwife, but at the same time, I feel like when I told her my contractions were so strong and like they were coming so frequently, I should have gone to the hospital. I feel like we should have went to the hospital way earlier.
But at the same time, let me not talk shit.
At the same time, what?
It's her job to tell us to go to the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but too, I think she was also trying to be like
if we're sitting there, you know what I'm saying, and she told us straight up, no, now's not the time to go to the hospital. We're gonna listen. We're not gonna be like, no, F what the professional says, and then we're just gonna sit here. You know what I'm saying? If she told us to go to the hospital in that moment, we went to the hospital.
Exactly.
She told us not to go to the hospital.
So we
stayed at home, right?
And for me and for us, we don't want to be in the hospital anyways. So we kind of took that advice too. It's not like we felt like we didn't advocate for ourselves.
We want to labor it out at the crib, right? Yeah. Labor it out at the crib and then go last minute. But who the hell wants to be in the hospital?
I hate being in the hospital. So I feel like, as much as, she should have maybe made different choices. It's hard to tell. Everyone's birth and stuff. And as I said, she is very junior to the position that she had. Like, she's worked at other clinics, but she's more in a junior.
Just give it all her news and business, right?
More junior. I mean, but I'm just saying, because I don't want people to think like, oh, she was like incompetent. Like she's
No, she's dope, man. She was a really dope.
I got to only work with her later on. So too, I think at that time my relationship with her wasn't the strongest because I had the senior one through the majority of my pregnancy. I only got to see her maybe 3-4 times before Eden was born.
Yeah.
So then that's what kind of also helped to put like a bad taste in my mouth and be like, yo, this bitch did not make sure that we were good.
I mean, we just on here bashing.
I mean, this woman wasn't,
What's her name?
I'm not gonna say her name.
Huh?
I'm not gonna say her name.
Yo, shout out. You know who you are. You'll shout you out, even though you slip. They'll shout you out.
She still did amazing. She still did amazing.
Really, really nice woman.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Very caring and everything. So.
With that being said, if you guys need somebody to deliver your baby, holla at your boy.
I mean, don't call
$5 grand a pop. No, because I know what I'm going to get myself into at that point, right? So I'm gonna walk in there like, just grab the shoulder.
You'll be waiting for the head to come out only?
No, I'm just grabbing for shoulder. That's it, bro.
You go in there checking just like
bro. I walk in the room like this.
I don't know. But yeah, guys.
But yeah, you're probably not gonna see me in another video like this sitting down and talking because this is not what I do. I don't like speaking, right? So, but you're gonna see me in other videos. We're gonna do a lot more challenges and stuff like that. Challenges with the kids, Corey and Naomi.
You guys know the kids.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna do a lot more challenges. You're gonna see me in those videos. But these type of videos is not really my thing. But finally got it over and done with a year and a bit later.
But comment, let me know how you guys think Charles did doing this video. Like, I want to know what.
You don't have to hear this. I know how I did. It doesn't matter what you think. I know how I did. Look.
I don't know.
Now tell me how I did. Tell me how I did.
I mean, in terms of the style of the video, was sitting down. I think he did it really well.
No, it's not my thing. I don't like speaking. I don't like speaking.
I know, but I'm just
I don't like
saying
being put on the
overall.
spot and speaking, right?
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Can't get my words out right. Try to
That's
process things. Like, I hate speaking about things that's happened in the past. Like, telling stories and stuff like that is weird.
I love doing it, but then I feel like what he says, I feel like I ramble, I guess. So I just start talking. I could just talk. Hey.
Well, yo, that's it for me. Yeah!
Daddy, you're not even gonna say goodbye with me? Okay, fine.
All right, let's go.
Alright, well, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you guys enjoyed our little story time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Where would it be? Right here?
Yeah, the subscribe is on this side. Like is over here. Comment, all that stuff is over there. All that good stuff. But make sure you guys do that. Join the fam. As it says, challenges and more is coming, especially with all the kids. You know, we got a big family. So stay tuned for more videos. And we out. Say bye.
Yeah.